Hello friends, and today I am in my bathroom. I wanted to show you the new skincare regimen that I have found. Now some of you, if you've been watching me long enough, you know that I am a skincare junkie. I have been with a brand for probably the last, I would say 4 years, a diehard. It was a medical grade and it was very good. But I have to be honest, my budget was getting a little tight. So I decided that I would try to find something that was just as good, if not better, and at a better cost. And guess what? I think I did. No, I did. I know I did. I started using Kbeauty. Have you heard of it? I mean, it's pretty much all over social media. It is the Korean skincare, and we have to admit that they have beautiful skin. So I thought I'm going to give it a try. I wasn't really looking for any improvement because I think my skin looks pretty good. I am 67 years old, for those that don't know. I haven't had really any surgical work. I have had lip fillers put in my lips. I've had no Botox. Well, I had Botox probably about 7 years ago once, and that was it. I had a bad reaction, and I said, Lord, I will never do that again, and I haven't. I've had nothing done around my eyes. I've had no laser treatments, anything like that. I've had a couple of peels in the past, but it's been probably a good, I would say maybe 3 years since I've had a good strong peel. So with that being said, I thought, okay, I'm just looking for something to maintain what I have, and I think I have found it. I actually started using this about a month ago, and within 1 week, and this, God is my witness, I saw an improvement. My skin looked like it was a little bit tighter. I didn't feel like I had, the lines didn't seem to be as in your face as they were before. Even my forehead, I was surprised, you normally had like these deeper wrinkles here, and I use what they call frownies. That's a whole nother video, but it's like this material that you put on your forehead so that you don't do a lot of squinting and your muscles aren't contracting while you're sleeping. And I've used those for probably about 10, almost 15 years, but I still couldn't get rid of it was very deep over in here because I'm full of face expressions, if you haven't noticed, right? And I kind of think that they've lightened up, honestly. So let's get to it. So I'm going to do my skincare. Normally I would splash my face, let the water run and everything, but I know sometimes it irritates people. So this is what I do in the morning. Now I'm going to have to step away from the camera. I'll be right back. The first thing I use is the moisturizing cleansing oil. Now I use this as my double cleanse. I've always double cleansed for probably the last, probably 5-7 years. I've always done a double cleansing. Now I haven't done double cleansing so much in the morning as I do in the evening because a lot of times I wear makeup. But I thought, I'm going to start doing what they recommend. So I do my double cleanse. I take 1 pump. At night, sometimes I might do 2. And then just roll it around in my fingers or move it around in my fingers. And then what I've been doing is, when I used to double cleanse before, I would only do it for probably 10, 15 seconds. Now I'm going to be doing it about that long here, but you really need to do it for at least 30 seconds to a minute, at least. And I will say I have larger pores on my nose. And in the past, when I've gone to get a facial, I always have to get those blackheads extracted. Don't forget your neck and your chest. That's why I'm wearing a shirt like this. And so it will be interesting when I go for my facial in a couple of weeks to see if she has to extract any blackheads. I don't see any. I mean, I think my pores look pretty good. and I work it really good around the nose like this. I even pinch my nose because oil removes oil, and that's what blackheads are. It's oil that has got embedded in our pores, which then causes your pores to be enlarged. You know how we always say, "Oh, my large are so my pores are so enlarged." Well, that's because you're not getting the dirt out. All right, so then I go ahead and I wet my hand, and you'll see that it'll lather up. Now, you can use this as your cleanser, period. If you're wearing makeup, then I would double cleanse with it, especially if you have dry skin. All right? So, but I'm just double cleansing because I want to. All right. So I've already wetted this. So now I'm going to just take it off like this. Normally I would splash it off, but we're going to do it this way. Now, I use a night cleanser, which is called a snow, I think they call it a snow enzyme, which really helps, get off the dead skin cells and everything. That is in the RAD, they call it RAD, which is for the more mature skin. But if you have skin that is really dry, then I would suggest going with what they call I think it's called the Experience. I'm all new yet with this. And that is a water-based. RAD is more oil-based, and it's for the mature skin. But if you have rosacea or anything like that, I would suggest going with the water base first. Now, I'm going to actually get that one so that I can use it in the morning, and then just use my RAD the more for the anti-aging. It's all anti-aging, but they do suggest the RAD for the more mature skin. And if you have a good barrier, skin barrier, meaning healthy, my skin is very healthy, and so that's why I went right to the RAD. All right, so now I'm going to use the cleansing powder. Now, I only use this about 3 times a week. I would say start out slow, maybe once a week or twice a week. It's a light exfoliator, and it is a powder. Let me show you. It is a powder, and you don't need much. You don't need much. And now I just use a little bit of water, and it feels a little gritty. But once you put it on and you move it around, it softens up. Now, back to the enzyme cleanser. I use that in the evening. Again, I need more water. I use that in the evening, every evening, after I cleanse with the oil. I like to use this cleanser 3 times a week, and I always do it in the morning. I just like how it gives a glow to my face. It all does give a glow, but this works the best. Now, of course, I would do a lot longer. I would rub it a lot longer and everything, but because I don't want to make this video too long. Now, some people think, "Oh, Tammy, you spend so much time on your skin." I do. But you know what? I have seen skin that has aged well when it's been taken care of. And I have seen skin that doesn't age so well when they don't take care of it. I'm not a sun person. I used to be. And I finally got rid of pretty much all my dark spots. And I want to keep it that way. So, to me, it's important to invest. That's what I look at. That's what I look at my skincare, to invest in good skincare. Now, I want this to dry before I put on my toner. Now, I never used a toner before, hardly ever. I'd start to use it, and then I didn't use it, and then I'd start to use it. But I am faithfully using this toner, and I wish I had all the scientific reasons why you need to use this toner. If anybody wants that kind of information, I can send it to you. You can read it. I am not a scientist. I only went up as far as ninth grade and science. We didn't have to take science after ninth grade, so I didn't do that. So there's a lot of big words, and I know that I would butcher them. But if any of you want information, just let me know. Leave it in the comments. Maybe I'll try to put a link in the comments or in the description so that you can go right to the ingredients and see. These are all clean ingredients. Remember, they are manufactured in Korea, in South Korea, and they go by European standards, which is very high. So you're getting a lot of clean products. Two things that are in this product. The one thing was that they call it a tiger lily, and it was an herb that they found. The founder of this company, and I don't know his name, but he found that it is known that the tigers will go, once they, like if they're wounded or anything, they'll go into this field where these tiger lilies are, and they'll roll in it, and it causes healing to come a lot faster to their wounds. So he took this tiger lily and began to grow it on his own, on the farm that they've since built. You know, it's a huge industry over there. And this has only been in this country, I think, since 2013, I believe, this product. And before that, it was just in Korea, and they sold like millions of this cream that they had developed. He also had gotten permission, one of the very few, from this volcano on Juji, I think it's called, I think I'm pronouncing that right, island. And it is water that is under this volcano. They say billions of years, but I know it's only been a few thousand years. So, but that's a whole nother story. But anyways, it's been there a very long time, from the beginning of time, right? When God spoke it into existence. And it's got a lot of minerals. So their water that they use comes from this volcano. And it's not like your distilled water or regular water that most skincare products use. This is enriched mineral water. And they noticed that when they began to water this lily, this tiger lily, it just grew bigger, and it just was so much more abundant. And there you go. Now, I hopefully didn't butcher that story, but that's what I've learned. So I do about a quarter size. And this is the toner. So it's got all those good properties in it to help healing with our skin. And now I'm going to let it dry, because it's very important that you let each step dry. The other one that I used, you didn't need to. This is what they call, hopefully I can remember, this is what they call cosmetical. I think that's what they call it, which means that you have 3 layers, and normally most skincare, the skincare will lay on this layer. But if it's I think it's called Kbeauty. I think I'm not pronouncing it right. But anyways, it penetrates into this dermis. There's the top dermis, and then you've got the middle dermis. This one, I guess we don't worry about, and it penetrates. Yeah. I wish I knew all that scientific thing. So there's that. We're done. We're done with that. And normally I always put eye cream underneath, but they say that with this, you don't need to. This is really quite safe to get up towards the eyes. So let me show you something. All right. This is what they call ampoule. I think that's what it's called. And this is full of antioxidants and all the great things that you need in this skincare to make it work the way it does. So this pops up. When you turn this, it pops up, and it gives you the amount that you need, which I think is really neat. And then you just press it out. And it's not much. And then you take it, tap it on, and then just rub it into your skin. See how close I'm getting? I do apologize for not getting all the scientific information and all the ingredients and all that, but I think the proof is in the pudding, as my mother would say. Go right on your lips, right around your lips, and then press it in. Now I'm going to let this dry before I put my sunscreen. Now I don't have their sunscreen, although they do have some. I'm using up my other sunscreen first. And I always do the back of my hands. So as I was saying, I apologize for not being so scientific and have all the fancy words and everything. But it's true. Just as I said before, the proof is in the pudding. And I'm telling you, I just want to have great skin until the day the good Lord takes me home. I don't know about you, but if you're interested, just put glow in the comments and I'll send you more information. No pressure, but you'll want to check this out, okay? So I use my little fan and then I will put my sunscreen on. All right, everybody. You have a beautiful day or evening, depending on when you're watching. And remember, aging is a fact. But looking your age, it doesn't have to be. I'll see you soon.